What's up, everybody?
Hi.
It's Tucker and the Beard. And this episode of Tucker and the Beard is brought to you by our respective real estate careers.
Us. It's brought to you by us.
Yeah. It's brought to you by Tucker and the Beard.
There you go.
We're not just movie nerds who like to sit in front of microphones. We're actually top producing real estate agents here in the Prescott area in Arizona.
Yes, very much so. Who would like to help you out with your real estate needs?
Yeah, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here in the beautiful Prescott area, we would love to be of assistance. Tucker, how can the people get a hold of you?
Well, you can get a hold of me, Edward the Tucker, at 928-710-4690, or you can get a hold of The Beard
at 928-910-5954. You can also find both of us on Facebook, or just shoot us a message.
Yeah, it'd be Kellen the Beard Hoskins, so
that's
people
right.
can find you.
And yeah, that's enough business talk.
Off to the show.
Let's do it. And we're back.
Here we are.
Welcome back.
Back
to
again. Like the bad boys.
Like the bad boys.
We're back.
What are you going to do when we come for you?
Yes. Have you watched the trailer yet?
I have. It's going to be an interesting flick.
Okay.
It's going to be an interesting movie.
Yeah.
We'll see
Last
what
time
happens.
I talked to you, you hadn't seen it yet.
You're right, and now I have.
I didn't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was anxiously waiting for you to watch the new Bad Boys trailer. But it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Here we are.
Not-
We've got an exciting announcement coming up
Yes.
in a different video.
Different
Suckers.
video.
No,
Big
but we got some really cool stuff
Yeah.
to announce, but that's going to be for a different time.
Way to set stuff up. Hey, something really cool to see you.
Yeah,
Or
and
tell
you're going to
you,
have to
but
check
no.
out a different video to see it. Ha-ha.
Take that.
That's called clickbait. I think. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm clickbaiting right or not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All new.
I got to give you some props, my man.
You gotta get. You should.
And I'm going to.
All right.
Because you took... We both know that scary movies are not your cup of tea.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're
not your jam.
And it's not for
you
to address it. It's not like
you're not a coward. It's just not the type of movies you like.
Right. It's not like I'm running out to normally see scary movies.
Yeah.
But I took two
the
for the
cultural
team.
phenomenon that is it.
Yes.
You watched both episodes pretty much back to back last week.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks.
You took one for the team.
I'm proud of myself.
And you handled it like a true champion.
Listen, I'd been intrigued by these movies.
Okay.
You know, it's not like normal scary movies where you're just okay, whatever. There was enough about it that it intrigued me. I was interested in kind of checking it out. I'd put off because it's like, listen, do I really want to go have nightmares for 6 months? I don't.
It's not your normal
right
movie going experience.
Right.
But it's one of the greatest classic horror novels of all time.
Well, and I felt like we'd been setting this up for long enough that I couldn't, if I backed out now.
Well, the reason we didn't...
I'd catch some grief for...
Yeah. The reason that we didn't review Chapter 1 is because we hadn't been doing movie reviews yet.
Right, it wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing.
Same reason we didn't review, Goonies.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
however, It's a weird situation. I saw the original miniseries when I was a young person.
With Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Huge Tim Curry fan. Yeah.
So I saw the original when it was on television.
Okay.
And it terrified me.
Right.
I was approximately 8 years old.
Yeah, which is just
questionable
really,
television watching for an 8-year-old human being.
Listen, my wife and I always discuss how we were able to see movies and stuff as kids that we shouldn't have been allowed to to actually watch.
So the way I grew up was we don't watch rated R movies.
Right.
But a rated R movie that's on television is okay because they take out the bad stuff.
Right.
Or enough of the bad
and
stuff.
now a rated R movie when we were kids is like a PG movie now.
Yeah.
Like the rating system is so messed up.
Yeah, it's gone awry.
Tell my son to watch Terminator because it was like free to stream or something like that, and he hasn't seen it yet. And I think he's 14, freshman in high school. It's Terminator time.
Yeah.
It's like
he's older than I was when I saw Terminator 2.
And it's a rated R movie, and I can't even. It's been a while, but I can't even really
remember why. I mean,
other than
just
probably
insane violence. Yeah, that's it.
Maybe a little bit of language sprinkled in there. Anyways, going to see some It.
Yeah. So I don't. By all accounts, I should not be a fan of this movie
because it scared you so much.
It scared me so much as a child.
Okay.
It's the reason that I hate clowns to this day. But it's like an abusive relationship. I just can't walk away from it.
Okay.
Since
go back
then,
for more.
I've read the book a couple of times,
which is which is kind of interesting because I have zero. I might have seen it, the original minis, or at least bits and pieces of it enough to be like, not my thing,
not my jam.
And Tim Curry already scares me now. I don't know if you've ever listen. This is gonna be one of those times that I throw a movie out at you.
Okay.
From my childhood, and you're probably gonna be like, no, never seen it. But Legend.
Nope.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Again, you're gonna have to go to Tucker Video and
I'll have to check that one out from your library.
But yeah, Tim Curry plays the Darkness. I think is what it's what his character is. It's pretty much like the devil. Like it's
all right.
Insane. But so he already
Tim Curry is a crazy person. Anyway.
Right.
Is.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, he's getting up there.
I wasn't sure. I know he has been very ill, so I just couldn't remember if he had actually passed away or not.
Peter Skarsgård? No, that's his brother.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård is the one that plays Pennywise the clown. He did some interesting stuff with it. And I guess, kind of going to it because
ready to traumatize an entire new generation of people.
Right. My wife did hear something and had told me something prior to watching the movies that kind of helped.
Okay.
That he kind of sounds like Winnie the Pooh. I'm not saying it helped. Like it would have been like, oh my god, but it would kind of made it a little humorous at times.
I suppose I can see that.
It had
his voice affectation had some similar.
Had a little Winnie the Pooh to it.
Right up until the time he bites your head off.
Right. Which does happen. But watch the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. It didn't have. Listen, as far as the first one, it had no jump scares, had no it was more really. Psychologically scary. And I'm not normally, and I don't think you are either. Particularly, I'm not saying that you are, but violence or anything that happens to kids.
Yeah, not something I'm usually a fan of.
Yeah, not
just in general,
right?
Whether when portrayed in film or otherwise.
Right, so it has that discomfort to it. Because
it's kids. It automatically, if they were adults the whole time, the movie would have been weak.
Right.
The story would have been weak.
And just their innocence and their...
Yeah.
Them being naive in a non-insulting way, but they're kids.
They're literally children.
But you had kind of, before, we pushed play on... Because we did it right here. That's why I'm pointing right here.
In the Tucker and the Beard Studios.
In the Tucker Beard Studios, for those listening.
Deep underground.
Yes.
Downtown Prescott.
Yeah, so we sat here, and I was like, don't make fun of me when I start crying like a little girl. I did not. But before we hit play, you kind of gave me a little bit of backstory.
Because I gave you a general synopsis.
Right.
Of some of the stuff that wasn't really covered in the movie, but I felt helped explain the story. Yeah,
and having a little bit of the backstory, it's like, okay, he's just a, cosmic being, essentially. Okay, cool. I can get down with that because it doesn't really. It doesn't address it very well in either film. It did a little bit in the second one,
but again, there's not there's a lot of turtle-based Easter eggs
Right.
throughout the movies.
Right.
But they don't go too much into the turtle.
Right.
Which, while takes up a small amount of real estate in the book,
I see what you did there.
it still, in my opinion, was kind of vital to the story.
Right. Well, and it was kind of knowing a little, okay, that it was, because it was a cosmic turtle that threw up.
He got a stomachache one day and vomited up our universe.
Right, which is just, listen, I don't know how they would have done that in the movie without going full, like, I would have checked out if they were talking.
And that's what some things are hard to put, they work way better in writing than they do as in a visual medium like a movie.
Right.
So, it's a challenge to do that, but I did feel like it took away some of what the movie or what the story was about.
Right.
Specifically, and listen, I don't know how to not spoil a story that's been around for 35 years. So, I mean, I'm not going to jump into a ton of details, but I mean, this story's been around and it's been told. So,
right, and you
can't really expect no spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, like you are very well versed in this story. I was not. I just knew it was a murderous clown that killed kids. But you explaining why because he is like the evil, this evil entity.
Yeah, I mean, in this story, in the beginning, there was the turtle and there was it.
Right.
And the turtle was a creator and it was a consumer. And it basically got stuck on this little planet that we call Earth and just happened to be stuck deep under the ground of what eventually became a little town called Derry in Maine.
Right.
So...
And I had asked, I didn't know any of this stuff. And, well, you had said that he discovered the taste it discovered the taste of human.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it. And
more particularly fear in humans, which is, he has the ability to take on different shapes, based on what scares each individual person, so he's able to, or it's able to, tailor its terror
right to
your particular insecurities, and scare you as much as possible, but that's how it likes to season its food.
Right, and kids are more scared.
Yeah, they're easier to scare than adults.
So so you kind of telling me that before, like hitting play and everything, I was like, okay, cool. And it was I know this movie came out, or this story came out far before that, but it had a Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think I actually did see in an article where it was one of the places that the writers of Stranger Things drew
and you could kind of see that, even though one of the actors went on to star in Stranger Things.
True.
But
actually started in Stranger Things prior to Chapter 1, I think.
He looked younger in whatever.
I don't know when everything was filmed, but I know that Chapter 1 came out after the first season of Stranger Things came out.
All right. But yeah, no, I watched it and there wasn't a whole lot of jump scares trying to do it. Was, psychological kind of mess. And
it's very character driven as far as, I mean, talk about a story, and Stephen King does this better than most authors, just in general. But and there's a reason that the book is 4 inches thick. It's not a quick afternoon read.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It takes some time.
But Stephen King goes above and beyond in the character development category,
right? And
he does that even more so in this particular story.
Yeah, I think I told you right after watching, I was very impressed with the story, because I mean we've seen some in this show of just killer walking around, slasher flick killing people, but it doesn't really establish. You don't really care.
Motivation?
Right? You don't really care.
Yeah.
No one asked Michael Myers. They go, "Why are you killing me?
Why are you the way you are?
What's killing you?"
Everyone knows who
What's your
Michael
issue?
Myers is killing, but no one knows what's killing Michael Myers.
Right, exactly. Why, but or any of the other characters. This one, it starts off with, a killing of Georgie. Not trying to, the little kid in the raincoat. That I knew that much that kid didn't make it.
Yeah,
but
we've got the Losers Club. Losers Club.
It drives his older brother in the story. Like,
yeah,
it was very character.
Well, what we have is some common childhood traumas, basically, that many people have had, which again makes the stories, the characters more easily relatable.
Right.
We have Bill who lost a sibling, and that wrecked his parents. So that's a thing that happens to a lot of little kids. We have Beverly who has an abusive father. We have Eddie who has an overbearing mother. Right. Who always makes him think that he's sick.
Right. So
we've got Ben the fat kid. We've got Richie the kid who just the overall class clown. Starving for attention.
Right.
So he obviously doesn't get much of that at home. So what it does is it takes these common themes that so many people can relate to,
right,
and adds those into the characters, and
makes
you go, oh man, yeah. I'm that kid.
Right.
I haven't seen a BuzzFeed quiz yet that says answer these 7 questions and find out which loser are you.
Right.
And then we have Mike too, who's the only black kid. Yeah. We have Mike, who's the only black kid in a pretty much all white town. In the 80s. So in the 80s. So that's, they're very common childhood traumas that people deal with. So it helps people to identify almost immediately with one or more of the losers.
Right. And just them being able to kind of lean on each other. But then there's this fear that Pennywise was able to kind of feed on
each of them.
And I think in chapter 1 and chapter 2, more chapter 1, I was like, and I think I was even saying before we, even went live here, that it was, even as a kid, I knew not, like, if stranger approached, clown.
Stranger danger, man.
Something, like, I'm going the other way. So little Georgie kind of had it coming.
Well, listen,
there's a little clown in the sewer that wants to take you down to the circus.
Right.
And
well, I mean, it starts with, again, it playing off of the insecurities that little kid has, right? He loses his boat down in the sewer that his brother had made for him, and he's already thinking, oh man, my brother is going to be so mad
that I lost the boat.
And so he immediately has something to play on. You're like, oh, just come take it. Right. Just come take the boat.
Right.
You want the boat back? Come get it.
Right.
And so that gives a certain... again, it's just one of those childhood fears. You make a mistake and you feel like, oh man, I'm going to be in so much trouble unless I fix this mistake.
Right. I can fix it if I just do this. Right. So I get.
Apparently, we're doing psychology with Tucker and the Beard today.
Seriously, lay on the couch, listen to us. I just thought it was, and it wasn't a classic, scary movie kind of thing. The chapter 1, so I really enjoyed it. And then I guess it was different for me because I was able to go right into chapter 2. I didn't have to wait.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
and actually, I appreciated watching the first chapter again. Beforehand, because that was just, it was nice to kind of remember how the movie played out. Because again, there's some key differences between the book and the movie, and the miniseries and the new movies.
And it was interesting having those conversations. I'm not going to
condemn this because of that.
Right.
Never in the history of ever has there been a book or a movie that perfectly followed the book. It's just not possible.
Yeah, and even because I can look at it with kind of fresh, unknowing eyes, because, but it was nice having those conversations with you of how the story was different in the book as opposed to the movie, because I was kind of going, oh, okay, cool, and certain things, and not giving stuff away about chapter 2, because it's 27 years.
Yeah, and that was another cool thing, so chapter 1 came out in 2017.
Right.
Which was 27 years after the trilogy came, or the miniseries came out in 1990.
Which is cool. Like if someone planned on doing that,
I have to think that they did.
Right.
There had to be at least, they're like, okay, we're going to make this movie.
We got to do it.
But we got to do it
by next year.
And we've got to have it release on this,
right?
On this schedule. Because I think that was brilliant.
Just a little hat tip.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it happens exactly 27 years after because I think the book came out in like 1980 something, like 85 or, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just a cool little...
But the movie came out very shortly after.
Because
and this was a time when they were making a lot of Stephen King books into TV miniseries.
Oh, yeah.
But they did it with The Shining, they did it with It, they did it with, I think they did the Tommy Knockers. There were several.
They came out in
the early 90s.
Went hard with Stephen King. But explaining the kind of 27 years thing, that's when it comes out and feeds.
Yeah, it feeds once every 27 years for, about a year.
Right.
And
then it disappears.
The way they put it in the movie, like...
I didn't realize he was there for a year. I thought it was just like a couple weeks or something.
No, it goes on for quite a while. And what they talk about, is like every 27 years, the rate of missing children per capita in Derry, Maine goes up to somewhere like 600 times the national average or something like that.
Right.
And because it is who it is, he has this kind of spell cast over the citizens of Derry, and they don't go enough into that in the movie versus the book.
I was gonna say you said that, and I was like, I didn't catch that in the movie.
And that's only, and it's like the adults don't really notice.
Okay.
So it's kind of, and again, that's more from the book than it is from the movies, but I feel like it's an important part of why.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Yeah, I was trying to say, evidently I didn't catch that in the movie. Like, it's one of those common sense, and I think I had more of an issue in the second one than the first one, being like, it's just kind of common sense things of just like, hey, don't go.
Yeah.
Doing
the adults know enough to know that it's happening. They have a curfew in place. They're trying to protect the kids. But they don't know enough to like stop it from happening.
Well played.
And so, and they forget. That's another key theme is
you leave the town.
You leave the town and you forget what's been going on. And even over time, once the events are over, the adults seem to forget, like, oh, hey, this was just 27 years ago.
Right.
And this happened. And there's been a series of disasters, basically, that have coincided with it coming out from hiding to feed.
27 years.
There's big disasters and stuff like that.
So in the second chapter, and I know it's different than the book, but it takes place now.
Yes. So the book happened in like 1957 and then in 1988 or whatever 27 years is.
Them being...
And the other one happened in 1990 and then 2017.
Right.
Or
right.
Some approximation there.
Right. So it was
about 27 years ago and now.
Right. The kids now.
Yeah.
Being grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought casting was fantastic.
Ooh, so good.
Now, before I watched it, I'm a huge Bill Hader fan.
Me too. Yeah.
He's getting a lot of buzz for him being the standout star. And so I was like going in there going, oh, Bill Hader's gonna. He did awesome. I'm not taking anything away from it. But the other actors, like, I'm not a huge Jessica Chastain fan who plays the younger version of Beverly.
Yeah.
But I was like hugely impressed, by her. But I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. Plays Bill. He's in Split. Like,
James McAvoy. Yeah. I'm like, where are you going with this, man?
No. Yeah, that's I just was drawing a blank on his name for like half a second. Really mad at myself. Because Bill has like a little stutter and everything like that.
Yeah.
And James McAvoy freaking killed it.
Owned that. And that's one thing, again, just talking about book versus movie. He's actually able to get rid of his stutter as an adult after he leaves Derry as a child.
Right. But when he
but
comes
the
back,
moment he comes back, the stutter comes back with it.
Right.
It was really interesting, and you kind of see it happen, but they don't play it up very much.
Right. They don't like delve into it, but I noticed it.
Yeah.
Because he was talking, he's got this life as a writer and everything.
James
like
McAvoy
that.
is.
My God,
we
got some
incredible
national treasures in this movie.
Yeah.
One being James McAvoy and
Bill Hader was tremendous.
God. Well, I've recently gotten in, and I don't know if you've seen it. We've talked about it, but the show Barry.
I'm gonna check it out. I haven't checked it out yet.
No,
though.
you need to check it, and then I'll let you borrow Legend. Okay. I was like, that's the rank that I'm putting.
All right,
because I think you'll enjoy it, and so acting wise, I think he's gotten a whole bunch of nominations for Barry and stuff like that, but his acting in that has been insane. So I kind of had a little heads up, like not just comedic.
And
stuff.
He's always been good, though. I mean, even in his SNL days, the things that he was able to do with some of the characters.
Oh yeah.
But I've been a fan for a while.
Yeah. So coming into
Putting
this,
a little
he's
serious
funny
on
because
it,
he's
Bill Hader.
Yeah, but the character's a comedian.
Yeah, and that was another slight deviation in the book. His character was a radio, like a Howard Stern-esque,
which kind of
like
fits.
Big time radio DJ.
Okay.
And in this one, he's a stand-up comedian.
And they do some different stuff with his character that you said is not similar to the book.
Well, there were things that were left far more ambiguous in the book.
Okay.
That were a little more on the nose in this movie.
Okay.
So, and the internet is abuzz about it for sure, but and I won't delve into it because I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, was it in the book? Kind of, maybe.
Okay. Because when I first talked to you about it, you said it was different. Yeah.
I thought a little bit more about it, and I was like, okay, I can see how that could have been more, like I said, just more ambiguous in the book, the character with the book, and just again, just more like, hey, really on the nose,
right?
In the movie,
right? And because I know we gotta start wrapping it up here, so I promised you I was gonna sit there and say this. The second one just made me feel like they took. And again, I know the story's been out for far long, but that they like took certain movies, threw it in a blender, and like made it its own thing. I know that's not it because the story has been out longer than probably some of the movies that I'm thinking of. So it's made me think of maybe those movies have taken something from
the original story,
right? Because I'm like, oh, okay, and without getting into. Kind of giving because the overall form, I don't know if it was the overall form. They have to do this ritual to bring out the actual form of Pennywise. And
ritual of Chud.
Yeah, and I don't know if the last incarnation, that the bigger version is the actual.
That's his true form. Yeah.
It reminded me of a recent Disney movie villain.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say it, of Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh.
Like the ending. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Like I was sitting there going, like it took me a while to sit there. I'm like, I don't know what it reminded me of.
Okay.
And I was like, it was totally.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you go back to the original miniseries,
right.
That's the form that
I get it.
kind of takes.
Yeah, but it was just kind of made me like chuckle a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
but
can
it's
see
just like, okay,
the similarities between those characters and its true form.
Right, and it was just more. The second one I really, really enjoyed because I'm gonna say I didn't not enjoy it.
Okay,
but it was one of those I enjoyed the first chapter 1 more than chapter 2, but I didn't dislike. I don't know. I'd watch them back to back. It would be
interesting to because we watched one on Thursday and then we went Friday morning.
Right.
I think it would be interesting to watch them in series, just
back
straight up.
Yeah,
boom, boom.
I thought they did a really good job because there was a lot of flashback scenes with the kids. I'm like, did they?
And again, that's true to the book where there's a lot of back and forth.
I'm like, did they film it back when? some of these scenes, or
I'm
did
sure
they just
they
do
did.
some Robert Downey Jr. young Tony Stark computer CGI making them
No.
look like?
They recorded all of
kids are
those scenes.
16, 17 now.
Yeah.
So they're not going to look like that anymore.
No, for sure.
So, but if you enjoyed the first one,
if you enjoyed the first one, you'll enjoy the second one.
Definitely. So
I think you should go see it if that's your jam.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
So wrapping it up.
time to go. We got things to do, houses to sell.
There it is.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys. We
Very
got a little
much.
treat coming up for you.
There's been a lot of support
It might come out
lately.
before this. I don't know, but anyway,
There's been a lot of support, and we appreciate it. And yeah,
it's time to go.
stay tuned.
We got some cool stuff for you. And until next time, he is Tucker,
He is the beard.
and we're out.